Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpataruvyaschа kripa sindhu vyaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Okay, we welcome all of you to our online weekly Krishna book classes. We have with us here Devina, Joli Nandwani, Karuna, Lavina Dadlani, Manju Nihalani, Meenakshi, Auntie Nita, Ritu Lalwani, Romi, I don't know who's SDL. Then we have...
That's my father, Shantaram Latkar.
Okay. So we have Shantaram Latkar. Then we have...
It was his birthday yesterday.
Okay, we have Sheetal Latkar, Shivani, Shreya Kalaria, Swapna Latkar, Upasna, Wendy Perez, and we have a Zoom user. I don't know what's your name, Zoom user. Okay.
That's me, I think, Mataji. Aja.
Oh, Aja. Okay.
It's just signed into Zoom, so maybe.
Okay. Good to know.
Thanks.
All right. So, what did we see in the previous class?
Well, we saw that in the last class, we saw the ending of the Samantaka Jewel chapter, wherein the king was so ashamed of accusing Krishna in a certain way that he wanted to present him with his daughter and the Shamataka jewel as well. So Krishna ended up accepting the daughter but not the Shamataka jewel, and he asked him to keep worshipping the Samantaka jewel and keep it in his possession so that there is no pestilence in Dwarka.
Okay. So, the external reason Krishna gave was that you can keep it in your possession so that there is no pestilence, there is no inauspiciousness, like that, no? But the internal reason we saw is,
It's because he had no intention of giving the Shamataka jewel to Krishna, and he had just done it to save face. So Krishna sensed his true intentions, and he did not accept the jewel.
yes, because of the lack of devotion on the part of Satrājit, therefore Krishna said that he does not want to take the jewel. But he did accept his daughter because,
Because she was a true devotee.
yes, because she had the sincere desire to have Krishna as her husband. No? Yes. Very nice. Okay.
Mataji, but Sri Krishna told him to keep the jewel in his possession or to keep it in the temple.
Yeah, but the temple can also be his home temple inside his palace because he's a king. It can also be in his possession within his quarters also, no? So he just said externally, you worship it,
Okay. So
right?
it wasn't his.
So temple
Okay.
can mean also, but he is the owner of the jewel. He can do what he wants with it. The point is, it is in his possession.
Okay. Okay.
He can worship it in his house. He can worship it in a temple outside. He can worship it anywhere. Okay. Because is the jewel actually required to avoid inauspiciousness in Dwarka?
No,
No.
Krishna is enough for that.
Exactly. Krishna is personally present. So how can there be any inauspiciousness? But Krishna, externally, he gives the reason. Okay, you can keep the jewel. You worship it how you were doing before to avoid inauspiciousness. But actually, that's not required to keep inauspiciousness away from Dwarka. Okay, let's see. Today's... So today, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we will continue to see the inauspicious events that this Shamantaka jewel is causing. That is chapter 57 of the Krishna book titled The Killing of Satrājit and Śatadhanvā. Let's see. Who is Satrājit? He's the father of?
The king
Father
who
of
had
Satyavama. Satyavama.
the farmer of Satyabhama and the holder of the jewel,
Yes. Okay.
Shamataka jewel.
Yes. Okay. After Akrura visited Hastinapur. Now who is Akrura?
Akrura is the uncle of
As
Krishna.
uncle.
Yes, his uncle. And what role did he play before this? Important role.
He brought Krishna from Dwarka to Mathura. No, not
Yeah.
Dwarka. I am saying from
Vrindavan.
Braj
Vrindavan. From
to
Vrindavan.
Yes.
Mathura.
From Vrindavan
Yeah,
to
sorry.
Mathura.
Mathura.
Exactly.
Mathura.
Mathura.
Upon the instruction of Kamsa, no? So
Kansa.
he was the one who brought Krishna, who took Krishna away from Vrindavan. Okay. Now Akrura has visited Hastinapur. Okay. Now let's see what happens. After Akrura visited Hastinapur and reported the condition of the Pandavas to Kṛṣṇa, there were further developments. The Pandavas were transferred to a house which was made of lac and was later set ablaze, and everyone believed that the Pandavas, along with their mother Kunti, had been killed. This information was also sent to Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram. After consulting together, they decided to go to Hastinapur to show sympathy to their relatives. Kṛṣṇa and Balaram certainly knew that the Pandavas could not have been killed in the devastating fire, but in spite of this knowledge, they wanted to go to Hastinapur to take part in the bereavement. On arriving in Hastinapur, Kṛṣṇa and Balaram first went to see Bhishma Dev because he was the chief of the Kuru dynasty. They then saw Kripacharya, Vidura, Gandhari, and Drona. Other members of the Kuru dynasty were not sorry because they wanted the Pandavas and their mother to be killed. But some family members headed by Bhishma were actually very sorry for the incident, and Kṛṣṇa and Balaram expressed equal sorrow without disclosing the actual situation. So while these events with the Shamantaka jewel were taking place in Dwarka, simultaneously there are developments in Hastinapur. So what has happened in Hastinapur? We know that Dhritarashtra loves his son Duryodhan, but Duryodhan has evil intentions. No, he wants to be the next king of Hastinapur, and he does not want to give the rightful share to his cousin brothers, the Pandavas. So he sets up this, he comes up with this evil plan to burn them alive. So he convinces his father to send the Pandavas to another place called Varnavat, where there is some festival to take place. And Dhritarashtra said it would be very nice if you can go and attend that festival. But Dhritarashtra is unaware that Duryodhan's actual plan is to kill his cousins. So what Duryodhan does is he gets an architect, what's his name? Something with a P. Okay, anyway, he gets an architect to construct a palace made of wax and other inflammable materials. And then that is set ablaze. But because Vidura had given the inside information to the Pandavas, he informed them that this is what is going to happen. So therefore, an underground secret tunnel was built and the Pandavas escaped from that place. But it so happened that a tribal woman and her 5 sons were in that palace. They were in a very, very drunken state. No, so they were in the drunken state and they were in that palace at that time when the palace was burned down along with the architect. So they were all burnt. And everybody thought that that tribal woman was actually Kunti and the 5 sons of the tribal woman are actually the 5 Pandavas. So everybody is thinking that the Pandavas and Kuntis have perished in that fire. So Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, upon receiving this information from Akrura, they have traveled to Hastinapur to give condolences to the members of the Kuru family. This is what has happened. Okay, Shailesh.
Purochana is the name of the architect.
What? Purochana.
Purochana.
Yes, Purochana. Thank
Yes.
you.
Mataji, how Krishna is connected to these Pandavas?
They are cousins because Kunti is the aunt of Kṛṣṇa.
Father, sister?
Father, sister, yes.
Oh, okay.
Vasudev's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, Shailesh, you
I
have a
just
hand raised?
wanted to ask one thing. It mentions that they saw Kripacharya, Vidur, Gandhari, and Drona. It doesn't mention Dhritarashtra at all. So does that mean they didn't visit Dhritarashtra at all?
No, first went to see Bhishma Dev, then they saw. So this is the sequence. First they saw Bhishma Dev, then they saw these other members. And the others came much later out of formality because they were not sorry, is what it is. What this thing means here. It's giving the sequence.
But he's
whom they
still
met
the
first.
but he's still the king, so isn't it?
Yeah, but they are going there as family members. Not as okay. When Kṛṣṇa and Balaram were away from the city of Dwarka, there was a conspiracy to take their Shamantaka jewel away from Satrājit. The chief conspirator was Śatadhanvā, who was among those who had wanted to marry Satyabhama, Satrajit's beautiful daughter. Satrajit had promised that he would give his beautiful daughter in charity to various candidates, but later the decision was changed and Satyabhama was given to Kṛṣṇa along with the Śyamantaka jewel. Satrajit had no desire to give the jewel away with his daughter, and Kṛṣṇa, knowing his mentality, accepted his daughter but returned the jewel. After getting back the jewel from Kṛṣṇa, he was satisfied and kept it with him always. But in the absence of Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, there was a conspiracy by many men, including even Akrura and Kritavarma, who were devotees of Lord Kṛṣṇa, to take the jewel from Satrajit. Akrura and Kritavarma joined the conspiracy because they wanted the jewel for Kṛṣṇa. They knew that Kṛṣṇa wanted the jewel and that Satrajit had not delivered it properly. Others joined the conspiracy because they were disappointed in not having the hand of Satyabhama. Some of them incited Śatadhanvā to kill Satrajit and take away the jewel. So while Kṛṣṇa and Balaram are in Hastinapur, here there is a conspiracy to take the jewel from Satrajit. And who is involved in this conspiracy?
Akrura and
Krura,
Varma.
Akrura and
Kritavarma.
Kritavarma, yes. So it is sometimes people ask why Akrura and Kritavarma, because if they are devotees, then why did they get involved in this conspiracy? So here we
It
see the
is written
explanation by
that
Srila Prabhupada. Because they
yeah,
wanted the jewel for Kṛṣṇa. They knew that Kṛṣṇa wanted the jewel and Satrajit had not delivered it properly. So they didn't want the jewel for themselves. They wanted it for Kṛṣṇa. And there's one more thing that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains. I didn't put it in the slides, but I'll read it from the book. See here. He writes, however, senior commentators say that Akrura and Kritavarma, two great devotees of the Lord, were furious with Satrajit because he had insulted Kṛṣṇa and spread false rumors about him in Dwarka. Therefore, they instigated Śatadhanvā to kill him. This is another angle of vision given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay. And why is Śatadhanvā convinced to do what Akrura and Kritavarma are instigating him to do is because
he wanted the jewel and he wanted to battle his Satyabhama as well.
he is upset because he didn't get to marry Satyabhama, which was actually promised by Satrajit, which he did promise to many people, but eventually Satrajit gave his daughter to Kṛṣṇa. So this is what
Krishna.
Śatadhanvā has in his heart against Satrajit. Okay, let's see what happens next. The question is generally raised, why did a great devotee like Akrura join this conspiracy? And why did Kritavarma, although a devotee of the Lord, join the conspiracy also? The answer given by great authorities like Jiva Goswami is that although Akrura was a great devotee, he was cursed by the inhabitants of Vrindavan because of his taking Kṛṣṇa away from their midst. Because of wounding their feelings, Akrura was forced to join the conspiracy declared by sinful men. Similarly, Kritavarma was a devotee, but because of his intimate association with Kamsa, he was contaminated by sinful reactions, and he also joined the conspiracy. So here we see Srila Prabhupada is explaining the explanation given by Sri Jiva Goswami. So Akrura, yes, he was a great devotee, but because he took Kṛṣṇa away from Vrindavan, he was cursed by the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And in the case of Kritavarma, because of his intimate association with Kamsa, a demon, he was also contaminated by sinful reactions. So this is how we understand why Kritavarma and Akrura got involved in this conspiracy to kill Kṛṣṇa's now father-in-law, Satrajit. Being inspired by all the members of the conspiracy, Śatadhanvā one night entered the house of Satrajit and killed him while he was sleeping. Śatadhanvā was a sinful man of abominable character, and although due to his sinful activities he was not to live for many days, he decided to kill Satrajit while Satrajit was sleeping at home. When he entered the house to kill Satrajit, all the women were all the women there cried very loudly, but in spite of their great protests, Śatadhanvā mercilessly butchered Satrajit without hesitation, exactly as a butcher kills an animal in the slaughterhouse. Since Kṛṣṇa was absent from home, his wife Satyabhama was present on the night Satrajit was murdered, and she began to cry, my dear father, how mercilessly you have been killed. The dead body of Satrajit was not immediately removed for cremation because Satyabhama wanted to go to Kṛṣṇa in Hastinapur.
Krishna.
Therefore, the body was preserved in a tank of oil so that Kṛṣṇa could come back and see the dead body of Satrajit and take real action against Śatadhanvā. Satyabhama immediately started for Hastinapur to inform Kṛṣṇa about the ghastly death of her father. So Śatadhanvā has killed Satrajit in his home, in his apartment. He has taken
When he
the
was
Shamantaka
sleeping.
jewel. Yes, and Satyabhama has gone to Hastinapur to inform Kṛṣṇa. So meanwhile, she has kept the body in oil to preserve the body. So this technology was available to us 5,000 years back of how to preserve the body. Yeah, Shreya, you have your hand raised?
Yes. So who is this Śatadhanvā? He is in the like a close associate of Kamsa, or who is he?
Is it the dacoit?
See, the information we have here is he was a sinful man of abominable nature, and he was one of those kings to whom Satrajit had promised to give his daughter in marriage.
Oh,
He was one of the candidates, and Satrajit had promised many people because Satyabhama was stunningly beautiful. But eventually he gave his daughter in marriage to Kṛṣṇa, again to correct the situation, to cover his fault.
he was just jealous.
So he's another king, but he's an evil king, and he's an enemy of Satrajit due to not being able to marry Satyabhama. When Kṛṣṇa was informed by Satyabhama of the murder of his father-in-law, he began to lament like an ordinary man. His great sorrow is again a strange thing. Lord Kṛṣṇa has nothing to do with action and reaction. But because he was playing the part of a human being, he expressed his full sympathy for the bereavement of Satyabhama, and his eyes filled with tears when he heard about the death of his father-in-law. He thus began to lament, oh, what unhappy incidents have taken place! Then Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, along with Satyabhama, immediately returned to Dwaraka and began to make plans to kill Śatadhanvā and take away the jewel. Although he was a great outlaw in the city, Śatadhanvā was still very much afraid of Kṛṣṇa's power, and thus when Kṛṣṇa arrived, he became most afraid. So what does this line mean, that Kṛṣṇa has nothing to do with action and reaction?
He is above the laws of karma, right?
Yes, he is above the laws of karma, so the laws of karma do not apply to him. Do the laws of karma apply to his devotee, to his surrender devotee?
No.
Surrender devotee, no.
No.
Yeah, not to his surrender devotee, because again, as we have discussed previously, Kṛṣṇa can override even the law of karma for his devotee. Those who are not surrendered to the Lord, they are under the law of karma, action and reaction. So that is the way this material world works. Whatever you sow, so shall you reap. But once you surrender to Kṛṣṇa, now you are directly under Kṛṣṇa's protection. Now whatever comes, whether it is suffering or so-called suffering from the external angle of vision or happiness, everything is coming directly from Kṛṣṇa. Okay. So Śatadhanvā is afraid because Kṛṣṇa is now coming from Hastinapur to Dwaraka. Understanding Kṛṣṇa's plan to kill him, he immediately went to take shelter of Kritavarma. Who's Kritavarma, by the way?
He is a devotee of Krishna.
Okay, what role did he play in the Mahabharata?
He is the commander of the Narayani Sena.
So he fought in favor of the Pandavas or in favor of the Kauravas?
Kauravas.
Kauravas.
Why?
Because
Because
Krishna
Kaurava asked
built the Narayani Sena to the Kauravas.
Yes, so there was a choice, no? Krishna said, it's either me or my entire army. So Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, so he was on the Pandava side, and therefore his entire army was on the Kauravas side. So therefore Kritavarma, he was fighting in favor of the Kauravas. And eventually what happened to him in the war?
He survives the war.
He survives the war. How many more people? Who else survived the war?
Kritavarma survives the war. Then
Five
uh,
Pandavas
The five Pandavas,
the
yes.
Pandavas
and
survive the war.
Ashwatthama.
Jujutsu.
Ashwadhama, very nice. Who else?
Ashwatthama, then
Jujutsu.
Yuyutsu, yes. Who is Yuyutsu?
Kaurava. He's one of the Kaurava, right?
So how come he survived the war?
Because he
because
was
he is
the
the
only
only
one.
one who did not dishonor Draupadi.
Okay. And
And he was the only one who actually stood up for Draupadi, that you should not be
okay. And
And he is their brother, no?
He switched sides.
he switched sides, exactly. He was not fighting in favor of the Kauravas. He was the only warrior who switched sides just before the war started, no? So he was fighting on the Pandava side. He was the half brother of Duryodhan, no? And because he switched sides and he fought on the side of the Pandavas, he survived the war, and he was the one who performed the final rites of all these other sons of Dhritarashtra who perished in the war. Okay, very nice. So have we covered all the names who survived the war? There's one name I think we have not mentioned.
Was he the son of Bhim? Gadodkach? No, Gadodkach did not survive.
Ghatotkacha perished in the war.
Hmm.
Kripacharya also survived the war. Of course, Krishna.
Kripacharya survived the war.
Yeah, Kripacharya survived, and Krishna also, of course, and also Satyaki, another
Satyaki was
warrior
the
from
aide
the
of Krishna.
Pandava side. Yeah, he was a student of Arjuna. He also survived the war. So it was just these handful of prominent warriors who survived the war. So Kritavarma is
Satyaki,
that person.
Satyaki is also one of the aides of Krishna, right?
Yes, aides of Krishna, and he was a student of Arjuna.
The brother of the Draupadi also survived, right?
Yeah,
No,
Ashwath,
no,
no.
no. Ashwatthama comes and kills him in the end.
Yeah, what's his
Okay.
name? I forgot his name.
Drupad, I think. Or
No, Drupad
No,
is
no,
the father.
no.
Drupad is
father,
the
okay.
father.
No, Drishtadhyumna.
Drishtadyumna.
Drishtadhyumna is the brother. Yes, Drishtadhyumna is the brother. Okay. Anyway. When Śatadhanvā was refused help by Kritavarma, he went to Akrura and implored him to help. So Kritavarma has refused to help, what's his name? Śatadhanvā, because he says, I shall never be able to offend Lord Krishna and Balaram, for they are not ordinary persons. They are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who can be saved from death if he has offended Balaram and Krishna? So saying this, Kritavarma, he's a devotee, and he's saying that I cannot help you. Then he goes to Akrura. Now let's see what Akrura says. When Śatadhanvā was refused help by Kritavarma, he went to Akrura and implored him to help. But Akrura also replied, Balaram and Krishna are themselves the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and anyone who knows their unlimited strength would never dare offend them or fight with them. He further informed Śatadhanvā, Krishna and Balaram are so powerful that simply by willing, they create, maintain, and dissolve the whole cosmic manifestation. So just he has to will, desire. Just by desiring, they create, maintain, and dissolve the whole cosmic manifestation. Unfortunately, persons bewildered by the illusory energy cannot understand the strength of Krishna, although the whole cosmic manifestation is fully under his control. He cited as an example that Krishna, even at the age of 7 years, had lifted Govardhan hill and had continued to hold up the mountain for 7 days, exactly as a child carries a small umbrella. Akrura plainly informed Śatadhanvā that he would always offer his most respectful obeisances to Krishna, the super soul of everything created and the original cause of all causes. When Akrura also refused to give him shelter, Śatadhanvā decided to deliver the Śamantaka jewel into the hands of Akrura. Then, riding on a horse which could run at great speed and up to 400 miles at a stretch, he fled the city. So now where is the Śamantaka jewel?
With Akrura.
It is with Akrura. Śatadhanvā has
Yeah.
given it to Akrura for safekeeping, which means Śatadhanvā is thinking that the jewel belongs to him. No, that's what he's thinking. It belongs to me, and you, Akrura, now you take care of the jewel while I flee the city. So he has fled the city of Dwarka up to 400 miles on his horse. He has gone. Yeah, Shreya?
But Akrura and Śatadhanvā was on the same side, right? Because they actually conspired to do this.
Yes, Akrura instigated Śatadhanvā, but Akrura's intention was that this Śatadhanvā has insulted Lord Krishna, he has spread false rumors about him, he has defamed him, he refused to give the jewel to Krishna, and I want the jewel for Krishna. This is Akrura's intention. But Śatadhanvā was greedy and he was evil and he wanted to take revenge from Satrājit for his own personal reason. That's the difference.
If Akrura was a good devotee of the Lord, then why would he pair up with somebody like him to even steal it?
Exactly. Because Akrura is under a curse, and that curse is now making him, is covering his intelligence. Because remember, the gopis have cursed Akrura because Akrura took Krishna. Now, again, you can say that it is not Akrura's fault that he took Krishna from Vrindavan because he was acting under the instruction of Kamsa, who was his lord at that time. He was working for Kamsa at that time, no? But remember, we read in, when we did this whole chapter of Krishna leaving Vrindavan, we read how Akrura did not console the gopis. He did not console the gopis. So that was where he made one mistake, no, that he did not console the gopis. And then the gopis cursed him for taking Krishna away. So that fault now is coming into play. When Krishna and Balaram were informed of the flight of Śatadhanvā, they mounted their chariot, its flag marked by a picture of Garuda, and followed immediately. Krishna was particularly angry with Śatadhanvā and wanted to kill him because he had killed Satrājit, a superior personality. Satrājit happened to be the father-in-law of Krishna, and it is the injunction of the Shastras that one who is Guru Druha, who has rebelled against a superior person, must be punished in proportion to the severity of the offense. Because Śatadhanvā had killed his father-in-law, Krishna was determined to kill him by any means. Śatadhanva's horse became exhausted and died near a garden house in Mithila. Now, where is this Mithila? Or how does this Mithila come into play in Ramayana?
That is Sita's
Mithila's
country.
Janaka. Janaka is the father of Sita,
Okay.
and Sita is married to Rama.
Okay, so that is where
the home.
Mother Sita comes from, no? That is the home of, or the father's home of, for Mother Sita. So now they have reached that Mithila city. Okay, Śatadhanva's horse became exhausted and died near a garden house in Mithila. Unable to take help of the horse, Śatadhanva began to run with great speed. In order to be fair to Śatadhanva, Krishna and Balaram also left their chariot and began to follow Śatadhanva on foot. While Śatadhanva and Krishna were running, Krishna took his disc and cut off Śatadhanva's head. After Śatadhanva was killed, Krishna searched through the clothing for the Śamantaka jewel, but he could not find it. He then returned to Balaram and said, "We have killed this person uselessly, for the jewel is not to be found on his body." Sri Balaram suggested, "The jewel might have been kept in the custody of another man in Dwarka, so you'd better return and search it out." Sri Balaram expressed his desire to remain in Mithila city for some days because he enjoyed an intimate friendship with the king. Therefore, Krishna returned to Dwarka and Balaram entered the city of Mithila. So here Śatadhanvā, his horse is tired and he starts to run on foot. Krishna and Balaram also, to make it a fair fight, they abandon their chariot and they are chasing him on foot. Eventually Krishna with his Sudarshan Chakra, he beheads Śatadhanvā. Now Krishna is not able to find the jewel on Śatadhanva's body. And then Balaram says that, okay, maybe he has left it with someone. You go back to Dwaraka and inquire, search for it, verify. Meanwhile, I will go and visit my friend Mithila. I'm sorry, my friend in Mithila. So who is this friend in Mithila that Balaram wants to meet? Who's the king of Mithila? The king of Mithila. Okay. So see here again, I will read.
It says it's Janaka, but I am a little confused.
Yeah, we will come to that. We will come to that. See here. See, one may ask, Krishna knows everything. He's omniscient. So is Balaram. So why is Krishna saying, oh, the jewel is not here? And why is Balaram saying, you go and search for it? And why is Krishna, putting up this show of, I'm searching for it, but I'm not able to find it? No. So why this? If both Krishna and Balaram are omniscient, why is this conversation happening between the two brothers? So here I will read from the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says, though Krishna, being omniscient, knew that Akrura had the jewel, he made a show of searching for it in order to confuse Balaram, who was observing from a distance. By doing this, Krishna was able to separate himself from Balaram, so that Balaram could give mercy to his pure devotee, King Bahulashva in Mithila. So this is why Krishna is making this show, so that they can be separated and Balaram can give mercy to his pure devotee, King Bahulashva in Mithila. So here it is described that the king in Mithila, his name is Bahulashva. And now again, Balaram also is omniscient. He also knows, no? So what is Balaram thinking? Balaram is thinking that even though Krishna is omniscient, he is acting like this to fool me. Balaram concealed his anger because he was supposed to be bewildered by Krishna and spoke this verse. Balaram said, now I would like to visit Mithila. You return to Dwarka and give the jewel to your beloved, but I will stay here. So this is how we understand. Now coming to the king of Mithila and his name Janaka, we have to understand that actually this name Janaka is a generic term given to the kings of Mithila. It's like a title. It's not that only Sita's father is called Janaka, but all the kings of Mithila, they get this name Janaka as a title. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one, let me see if I have the slide here. Here, see. There is a chapter in the 9th canto titled The Dynasty of Maharaj Nimi. Now, this Maharaj Nimi is actually the king in the lineage of Sita's father or Janak Maharaj, whom we popularly know as Janak Maharaj. So, it is described in this chapter how King Nimi, he was performing a yagya, but he was cursed by his spiritual master. And because of that curse of his spiritual master, he passed away, he died. And the priests who were doing the yagya at that time, they prayed to the devatas, they prayed to the demigods to revive King Nimi. And the devatas, they were ready to do it. But King Nimi, Maharaj Nimi, he refused. He said, I don't want to take birth again in this material body. He says, please do not imprison me again in this material body, because this body is a source of fear, lamentation, distress. Having this material body is very, very obnoxious. He says this body is very, very obnoxious. So I don't want to be in a material body again. So therefore then what the sages did was they churned the body of King Nimi so that there can be a successor, so that there can be a successor. So they churned the body of King Nimi, and from that body his son was born, and his name was Janaka. This Janaka is not the father of Sita. There are some generations dividing them. So the word Janak means what? The word Jana means to produce, Janna, to give birth, and Ka means the one who does it, the doer or the maker. So Janak means he's a begetter or a producer or somebody who's a progenitor, generator, a father. So therefore, this name Janaka came for the son of King Nimi, because he was born in this extraordinary circumstance to be able to have more children and get the lineage moving, going forward. And therefore, all the kings of Mithila, then they get the title of Janaka. Okay. Thereafter, to save people from the danger of an unregulated government, the sages churned Maharaj Nimi's material body, from which as a result a son was born. Because he was born in an unusual way, the son was called Janaka, and because he was born from the dead body of his father, he was known as Vaideha. He was also called as Vaideha. Vaideha means what? Deha means
Body.
body. Vaideha means Vai
Vaideha.
means no. No, it means no. So Vaideha means he who does not have a body, because he was churned from the dead body of his father. Therefore, he is called as Vaideha. Because he was born from the churning of his father's material body, he was known as Mithila. Mithila comes from the word Mathna. Mathna means to churn, churn. And because he constructed a city as King Mithila, the city was called Mithila. So this is how
This
these
is
names
before
come.
Janaka. This is before Janaka Maharaj, right? Sita's father.
Yes, much before, much before.
Okay.
From Rashva Roma came a son named Kshiradhwaja, also called Janaka. Now this Kshiradhwaja is actually the name of Sita's father. He is called as Kshiradhwaja Janaka. When Kshiradhwaja was plowing a field, from the front of his plow, Shira appeared a daughter named Sita Devi, who later became the wife of Lord Ramachandra. Thus he was known as Kshiradhwaja. So actually Sita Devi's father, his name is Kshiradhwaja, or he's called as Kshiradhwaja Janaka. Okay. Aja, you had your hand raised?
Yes, Mataji. You were mentioning Balaram as omniscient, right? I just want to confirm, is Balaram Sheshnag?
Yes, he is.
Who was Sheshnag originally? Then how come he is omniscient, just like Krishna?
There is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference between Krishna and Balaram is the color of the skin. Krishna is white, Krishna is blue, Balaram is white. They are both omniscient, they are both supreme personalities of God.
So who is Sheshnag?
Balaram is Sheshnag.
Okay, that's all. Okay, that's all. Okay.
He is his expansion. Balaram is the original, Sheshnag is the expansion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mataji, can I ask a question too about Balram?
Yes.
Yes. When he stayed for some days to visit his friend, intimate friend Janaka, what was the name of that Janaka?
That name we saw here, no? What was his name? Bahulashva.
Bahulashva. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. After killing Śatadhanvā, Kṛṣṇa returned to Dwarka, and in order to please his wife Satyabhama, he informed her of the death of Śatadhanvā, the killer of her father. But he also informed her that the jewel had not been found in his possession. Then, according to religious principles, Kṛṣṇa, along with Satyabhama, performed ceremonies in honor of his departed father-in-law. In those ceremonies, all the friends and relatives of the family joined together. So, Kṛṣṇa, although he is God, he has still performed ceremonies in honor of his departed father-in-law. Some people, they say all these final rites and rituals, these ceremonies are not important because the person who had to die has already departed. And what is the use of doing all these ceremonies after the death of the person? But you see, Kṛṣṇa also did or engaged in these ceremonies. And so did Lord Ramachandra. If you see in the Ramayana, when Jatayu was killed, Lord Ram, he performed the final rites of Jatayu, just as how a father would do for his son. No. And even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when his father passed away, he had also done all the final rites and rituals. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is God, no, he is Krishna himself. So therefore, we have to follow the footsteps of great personalities. They did these final rites and rituals because it is important, and therefore we have to follow in their footsteps. We should not bring up our own logic and think that, oh, how is this going to help a person who has already departed? Yes, it does help. The soul that has left the body gets spiritually benefited when these final rites and rituals are done. The soul can get an upgrade. What has died is the body, but the soul continues to move on, and the soul continues to have a spiritual bank balance. So when we do the final rites and rituals, then the soul gets spiritually benefited.
Mataji, I have a question related
Yes.
to this. If there is no son, does Veda support ladies, the daughters doing the rituals?
If you can't do the best, then you do the next best. That is what is Krishna's teachings. Okay. So time, place, and circumstances. But always under the instruction of an authority. Not that I do something because I like or I think. When a superior authority sanctions it, always under the authority of a senior authority, we do the next best option.
Okay.
Akrura and Kritavarma were prominent members in the conspiracy to kill Satrajit, having incited Śatadhanvā to kill him. So when they heard of the death of Śatadhanvā at Krishna's hand, and when they also heard that Krishna had returned to Dwarka, they both immediately left the city. The citizens of Dwarka felt themselves threatened with pestilence and natural disturbances due to the absence of Akrura from the city. This was a kind of superstition because while Lord Krishna was present, there could not be any pestilence, famine, or natural disturbances. But in the absence of Akrura, there were apparently some disturbances in Dwarka. The superstition arose for the following reason. Once in the province of Kashi or Varanasi, there was severe drought and practically no rain fell. At that time, the king of Kashi arranged the marriage of his daughter, known as Gandhini, with Swafalka, the father of Akrura. This was done by the king of Kashi on the advice of an astrologer, and actually it so happened that after the marriage of the king's daughter with Swafalka, there was sufficient rainfall in the province. Due to the supernatural power of Swafalka, his son Akrura was considered equally powerful, and people were under the impression that wherever Akrura or his father stayed, there would be no natural disturbances such as famine or drought. That kingdom is considered happy where there is no famine, pestilence, or excessive heat and cold, and where people are happy mentally, spiritually, and physically. As soon as there was some disturbance in Dwarka, people considered the cause to be the absence of an auspicious personality in the city. Thus, there was a rumor that because of the absence of Akrura, inauspicious things were happening. After the departure of Akrura, some of the elderly residents of the city also began to perceive inauspicious signs due to the absence of the Syamantaka jewel. When Lord Krishna heard these rumors spread by the people, he decided to summon Akrura from the kingdom of Kashi. So what do you think? There were inauspicious signs or there were no inauspicious signs after Akrura left?
There were. There
There
were
were,
inauspicious.
yes, there were. But the reason was the absence of Akrura. The reason was the absence of the Syamantaka jewel. What was the reason? Actual reason.
This
The absence
coincidence.
of Akrura.
Okay.
Was the disobeying of the giving the Samartak jewel to Krishna, maybe?
Okay. Anybody else wants to try?
I think it was just coincidence.
Coincidence.
People put two and two together, and they thought that this is a bad happening. and they said that this is happening due to Akrura not being there.
Okay, anybody else?
Because if Krishna is present, then we understand. Right? It's Krishna.
Yeah,
He-
Krishna is present. So how
Krishna.
come there is famine and pestilence and natural
Krishna,
disasters?
Maybe he willed it to happen.
Krishna no longer is there, so
It is
that might happen.
Krishna is there. Krishna is very much there in Dwarka.
maybe he willed it to happen so that the story would move along. Because
He wanted it to happen. So Krishna has purposely created this situation of famine and pestilence, etc. Because when Krishna is present, there is no question of any inauspiciousness, but Krishna has purposely made such things to happen. And people are thinking that this is because Akrura has left. Why? Because Akrura is the son of, what's his father's name here? Swafalka. No?
Swafalka.
Yeah. And Swafalka, when Swafalka was married to the daughter of the king of Kashi, then Kashi's drought ended. So there, why? Because Swafalka has supernatural powers. And they are thinking that Akrura, being the son of Swafalka, he also has the same power as the father. So if Akrura is present, there can be no famine or drought and inauspiciousness. But now because Akrura has left, therefore the people are thinking that that is the cause of the famine. And now Krishna says, okay, so I'm going to summon Akrura from the kingdom of Kashi to come back to Dwarka. But actually Krishna purposely is creating this situation so that Akrura can be brought back. Akrura was Krishna's uncle. Therefore, when he came back to Dwarka, Lord Krishna first of all gave him a welcome befitting a superior person. Krishna is the super soul in everyone and knows everything going on in everyone's heart. He knew everything that had happened in connection with Akrura's conspiracy with Śatadhanvā. Therefore, he smilingly began to speak to Akrura. Addressing him as a chief among munificent men, Krishna said, "My dear uncle, it is already known to me that the Shyamantaka jewel was left by Śatadhanvā with you. Presently, there is no direct claimant of the Shyamantaka jewel, for King Satrājit has no male issue. His daughter Satyabhama is not very eager for the jewel, yet her expected son, as the grandson of Satrājit, would, after performing the regulative principles of inheritance, be the legal claimant of the jewel. Lord Krishna indicated by this statement that Satyabhama was already pregnant and that her son would be the real claimant of the jewel and would certainly take it from Akrura. So Krishna is now speaking to Akrura, who has been brought back from Kashi to Dwarka. So first of all, he gives him a welcome befitting a superior person, and then he tells him how that Satyabhama's son would be the natural inheritor of that jewel, being the grandson of Satrājit. Yeah, Shreya, you have your hand raised?
So befitting who? Befitting a superior person?
Because Akrura is his uncle. He's a superior person. Befitting Akrura.
Oh, okay. And then Krishna intentionally did that famine thing because he wanted Akrura to be back. That's right.
Exactly. He used that as a reason to call back Akrura. Krishna continued, "This jewel is so powerful that no ordinary man is able to keep it. I know that you are very pious in activities, so there is no objection to the jewels being kept with you. There is one difficulty, and that is that my elder brother, Sri Balaram, does not believe my version that the jewel is with you. I therefore request you, O large-hearted one, to show me the jewel just once before my other relatives so that they may be pacified and reject various kinds of rumors. You cannot deny that the jewel is with you because we can understand that you have enhanced your opulence and are performing sacrifices on an altar made of solid gold. The properties of the jewel were known. Wherever the jewel remained, it would produce for the keeper more than 2 mounds of pure gold daily. Akrura was getting gold in that proportion and distributing it profusely at sacrificial performances. Lord Krishna cited Akrura's lavish spending gold as positive evidence of his possessing the Syamantaka jewel. So Akrura, he was performing very, very opulent yagyas, and he was giving in charity a lot of opulent products because he was getting a lot of gold from the Shyamantaka jewel. So Krishna is using that as an evidence to say that the Shyamantaka jewel is with you, O Akrura. Yeah, Priyanka?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. In the previous paragraph, I had questioned that why did Krishna needed to create the famine in order to bring back Akrura? He could have directly ordered Akrura to come back.
Yes, but he is using this as an excuse, as a reason to create a circumstance so that Akrura is not going to see. If I just say, you come here without any reason, but if I say that you come here because this situation is there and we need you, it's more respectful. And Akrura is a senior personality. Like Akrura is made to feel that this situation, like people want you, people need you. People are thinking that this famine is because of your absence and we need you. So therefore, please come back. Like that. It's more respectful on behalf of Krishna. Rather than just saying, I want you here, so please come. Right?
But I thought that Akrura being the devotee, he will immediately listen to Krishna without any objection.
Yeah, he will not an objection, but Krishna on his part is making it more respectful. It's not about Akrura, it's about Krishna's attitude.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Shreya?
Then why Akrura did not immediately bring the jewel, because he always wanted to steal that jewel because he wanted to give it away to Krishna. So he could have just, as soon as he got it, why did he go to like Kashi and why did he do that?
See, because they were afraid. It is explained here, that because they were the ones who incited Śatadhanvā to kill Satrājit, and Krishna was angry that Satrājit has been killed, and he killed Śatadhanvā. Who was the one who instigated Śatadhanvā? It was Akrura and Kritavarma. So they were afraid, they got scared, and therefore they fled.
The Kashi is their place?
Kashi is the place of Akrura's father. I mean, Akrura's mother. His mother was from Kashi. Yeah, his
So
mother.
where is Akrura from? Originally, where is Akrura from?
Oh, I don't know where is his father from. His mother is from Kashi.
No, Akrura. Akrura is from Kashi?
Akrura. Akrura only, no, his mother is from Kashi, no, because Akrura's father got married to the daughter of the king of Kashi. So he had gone to his grandfather's place in Kashi. Akrura only, I'm saying.
Where is Akrura from? Dwaraka?
Akrura was staying in Mathura. He was serving Kamsa. He belongs to the Yadava clan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They are all related. So he was actually living in Mathura and he was serving Kamsa. That's how Kamsa instructed him to go and bring Krishna.
Yeah, he didn't have any kingdom or anything, right? Okay, he was just helping Kamsa.
Yeah, he was with Kamsa, yes. He belongs to the same clan, family, Yadava family. Or Bhoja dynasty. These are all the dynasties of Kamsa and the family. Okay. So where did we read? Did we read this?
Yes, he is requesting to give them.
Okay, so last paragraph, or the last two paragraphs. When Lord Krishna, in friendly terms and sweet language, impressed Akrura about the real fact, and Akrura understood that nothing could be concealed from the knowledge of Sri Krishna, he brought out the valuable jewel, covered by cloth but shining like the sun, and presented it before Krishna. Lord Krishna took the Syamantaka jewel in his hand and showed it to all his relatives and friends present, and then returned the jewel to Akrura in their presence, so that they would know that the jewel was actually being kept by Akrura in Dwarka city. This story of the Syamantaka jewel is very significant. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that anyone who hears the story of the Syamantaka jewel or describes it or simply remembers it will be free from all kinds of defamation and the reactions of all impious activities, and thus will attain the highest perfectional condition of peace. So this is the blessing for all of us, that we will be free from all kinds of defamation and we will be free from the reactions of all impious activities, and that we will be able to attain the highest perfectional condition of peace. So this is a blessing for all of us who have read this chapter. This is actually from the Srimad Bhagavatam. You see here, this is the exact verse spoken by Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. After Sukadeva Goswami narrates the Shyamantaka jewel pastime, then at the end he says, this narration, rich with descriptions of the prowess of Lord Sri Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, removes sinful reactions and bestows all auspiciousness. Anyone who recites, hears, or remembers it will drive away his own infamy and sins and attain peace. So this is the Falashruti, or the benefit of reading, reciting, remembering this chapter. See, this is a very nice verse. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had composed Vaishnava K, which means what kind of a devotee are you? And the third verse says, Tomara Kanaka Bhogera Janaka. Kanaka means gold. See, Kanaka means gold. So he's saying, Tomara Kanaka, your gold is actually Bhogera Janaka. Janak, again, as we said previously, that word Janak means producer, one who produces. No. So he's saying, Tomara Janaka Bhogera Janaka. It gives birth to enjoyment. Your gold actually is giving birth to only enjoyment, material sense gratification. Kanakera Dware Sevaha Madhava. Actually, through this Kanakera, through gold, what you're supposed to do, you have to engage in seva of whom? Of Madhava. Kaminira Kama, which means that if there is a lust for beautiful women, or a lust for that women have towards men, no? Lusty desires. Nahe Tava Dhama, that is not your abode, that is not your place, that is not your dham, that is not your place of residence. Tahara Malika, your Lord, Kevala Yadava. Your Lord is only Yadava. Yadava is another name of Lord Sri Krishna. So this is the danger of these objects, materialistic objects, when we use them for material sense gratification. Let's read the translation. My dear mind, you are attached to wealth, and due to Maya's influence, you want to use your money simply for the gratification of your material senses. But by this, you will get no eternal satisfaction. You should use the wealth at your disposal in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Madhava, Kṛṣṇa, and then only you can experience transcendental bliss from wealth. Your lusty desires to enjoy beautiful women are not an abode where you can find real shelter. The supreme lover is Yadava, Kṛṣṇa. He is the supreme enjoyer and actual owner of everyone's love. Offer all your love and devotion to Lord Kṛṣṇa and you will be completely satisfied. So this is from Vaishnava K, written by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The book is also available. If you want, you can read this. See, pattern behind every Syamantaka. First comes possession. This is mine. So when Satrājit got the jewel, he said, okay, this jewel is mine. I have earned it. The sun god has given it to me as a gift. Then comes attachment. I cannot live without it, because when Kṛṣṇa told him, give me that jewel, which was for his own well-being, right? Because Satrājit, then we saw how there was a series of inauspicious events that followed for Satrājit. So when Kṛṣṇa told Satrājit, give it to me, he said no, he refused to give it to Kṛṣṇa. He said, I cannot live without it. Then comes pride. From attachment comes pride. I am superior because of it. So Satrājit was thinking that I am superior. No, he thought when he entered Dwarka, he did not even think it necessary to go and meet Kṛṣṇa, although he's personally present over there. So he's thinking that he's superior. I am superior because of it. Then comes fear. Someone may take it away. Satrājit gave it to his brother for safekeeping because he thought, okay, Kṛṣṇa has now asked me for the jewel. Maybe he will take it away from me. So he gave it to his brother for safekeeping. There was fear. Then comes suspicion. Others become perceived threats. Now, when Satrājit's brother was killed, Satrājit became suspicious of Kṛṣṇa. He suspected that Kṛṣṇa is the one who has stolen the jewel. Then comes conflict. Relationships deteriorate. His relationship with Kṛṣṇa deteriorated because he refused to give the jewel to Kṛṣṇa, and because again he spread rumors about Kṛṣṇa, and everybody in the kingdom, they were engaged in those rumors about Kṛṣṇa. He spoiled the reputation of Kṛṣṇa. So therefore the relationship deteriorated. Then suffering, peace is lost. Then he was so worried about what can I do now to restore this relationship? I have done the wrong thing. No, he was so much in anxiety, Satrajit, that he lost his peace of mind. And then finally there was destruction. Satrajit's brother was killed, and Satrajit himself was also killed because of that Syamantaka jewel. So this is the pattern behind every Syamantaka. And we have to think, what are the Syamantakas in our own lives? What is that material object that we are possessed with? No, the idea is not that we should not have material possessions. Yes, you can have your material possessions, you can live in a luxurious apartment, you can have a luxurious car, no problem, but use it in the service of Krishna. If you have a nice luxurious apartment, you can use it to invite Vaishnavas, have programs, have some classes, or just distribute Krishna Prasad, no, or use your luxurious vehicle to transport devotees, or to transport, say, prasad or so many other things. Use it in Krishna's service. So the idea, the bottom line of the story is not that we should not have material possessions. We can have material possessions, but don't be possessed with your possessions. Use it in the service of Krishna. Then when we use it in the service of Krishna, then we will not have to go through this pattern that is being described over here. So this is the Syamantaka jewel episode, and we saw the fall down of Satrajit and all the inauspicious events. But you take any Syamantaka, for example, for Dhritarashtra, his Syamantaka was his attachment to his son. No, and for him also, if you see, the same series happened for Dhritarashtra, for his Syamantaka, which was attachment for his son. Duryodhan Syamantaka was his greed for the kingdom. If you see, the same thing happened with also Duryodhan. In the case of Ravan from the Ramayana, his Syamantaka was his lust for women, and even he did not spare Sita. So he also went through this whole pattern. How this pattern applies to these three personalities, you can see in this chart. That is homework for you. We are not going to read it now in the interest of time. So this table you can read when I share the slides in the group. What do you think are some of the Syamantakas of modern age, Kali Yuga? What is it that people are very attached to? What are the Syamantakas of Kali Yuga? What do you think?
Money, mobile phone.
Was house, vehicle, money.
Okay, money. We are very attached to wealth and Kali Yuga. Then our home.
Possession. Deposition.
Power.
Power.
Pride.
Pride.
To
Then
impress people, constantly liked by somebody.
what's that, Shreya?
Deposition.
Like to impress people that I have like a position, I have like, to be liked by everybody.
Yes, to expect honor from others. Okay. What else?
Ego.
More recent, past 10 years. What do you think is the Syamantaka now in the modern times?
Past 10 years.
Computer, mobile.
Social media, no? Social media or digital addiction, no? The modern Syamantakas are our digital addiction, our social media. And there is so much, people are so possessed by how many followers do I have on my Instagram page? Or how many likes are my videos getting? How many people have subscribed to my channel? These are the modern day Syamantakas. People cannot do without. Even in the courts, you see brothers are fighting for properties. So many cases are pending because of inheritance conflicts in the modern times. We can see even career, no, people, they keep their family aside and they keep their children aside, but their Shamantaka is there. They are possessed with their career, So these are the Shamantakas of the modern times. So what is our Shamantaka in our life? That is something that we have to think about and work on it. See here, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva mad arpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So when we use our Syamantakas as an offering to Krishna, then as Krishna himself is suggesting in the Bhagavad Gita, then we will be free from all these inauspicious events in our lives. On that note, by the mercy of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Do we have any questions or comments?
The only Samantaka should be the love for Krishna in our life.
Yes. He himself is a Shamantaka. He himself is a jewel, no? See, when we say Shamantaka, yes, we call it jewels. We can have jewels, we can have possessions, but it becomes a headache. It becomes inauspicious when we don't use it in the service of Krishna, when we use it for our own sense gratification. See, now Srila Prabhupada, he had a lot of possessions which were unparalleled, right? Actually, if you go to see, nobody has a greater success story. No Tata, no Birla, no Ambani, no Bill Gates, nobody has a greater success story than that of Srila Prabhupada. Even if you look at it from the material angle of vision. Why? Because in just 10 years or 12 years, he established 108 temples. He visited all the continents except Antarctic. Antarctic also was covered recently, when devotees went to Antarctic now. But he has covered 6 continents, right? Established temples. He created thousands of followers. He made the chanting of Hare Krishna popular in every town and village, right? He started ISKCON, which is an international society for Krishna consciousness. Now we have more than 800 temples, and plus there are farm communities, there are gurukulas, there are preaching centers. Thousands and thousands of preaching centers are there all over the world. Even in Pakistan, there is ISKCON today. The Bhagavad Gita is available in more than 90 languages all over the world, including Urdu. In Urdu also now, Bhagavad Gita is available. So Srila Prabhupada has translated huge voluminous literature. And he also created the chain of restaurants, vegetarian chain of restaurants worldwide called Govindas, which is the most popular chain of vegetarian restaurants now today in the world. Govindas. He created the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, the publishing house, ISKCON Publishing House, which is the largest publishing house for spiritual texts in the world today. So there are many things that Srila Prabhupada has achieved, but these are all the jewels of Srila Prabhupada. But it did not create inauspiciousness, like in the case of Satrājit or all Duryodhana and all these other people. Why? Because whatever he did was in the service of Krishna, So Srila Prabhupada also had many jewels, which he did single-handedly in only 12 years. At the age of 70 years, he started doing. He went on a free ticket to the US and he suffered 2 heart attacks. He did not have health on his side. He was fully paralyzed. See, just 1 year after establishing ISKCON, he was completely paralyzed from neck down. He was not able to move his body, but he overcame even that health condition within a few weeks. And again, he was traveling and preaching. So all this thing did not go to his head because he used everything in the service of Krishna. So you can have a lot of jewels, but don't be possessed by your possessions. Always use it in the service of Krishna. That is the key. Okay, do we have any questions or comments?
Yeah, usually every chapter ends with a line, thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. This chapter doesn't.
Yeah,
Is
I
there
have the
any
same
reason?
question, but that's how it is. I had the same question. This chapter, Prabhupada has ended by giving us the Falashruti of the chapter. Right? He has given us a Falashruti of the chapter at the end. Okay, anything else? Or we are ready for the exam?
Mataji, where is Chamantaka jewel now?
I wish I knew. I don't know. There are some accounts here and there, but it's not from the Shastra, so better not to comment on that. The last we hear is that it is with Akrura. Yeah, Shivani? Is she there? Did she raise her hand? I don't see her now. Okay. So here's your link to your exam in your chat.
It's there already?
Yes, it's there
Oh.
in the chat. No, Shivani, I cannot hear you.
Hare Krishna, I submitted.
1 second, Vivant. Let me check. Yes, received. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have submitted.
1 second. Yes, received. Thank you, Hare.
Hare Krishna.